Phoebe Bridges speaks out on abortion experience as music world protests vote to overturn Roe v. Wade. Phoebe Bridges, Garbage, Questlove, and more have reacted to the U.S. Supreme Court's private vote to overturn the 1973 Roe v. Wade decision, which made abortion legal on a federal level. Yesterday, May 2nd, Politico published a leaked draft opinion penned by Justice Samuel Alito, which argued that Roe v. Wade was egregiously wrong from the start, adding that it is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Draft opinions can be subject to multiple drafts and vote trading, sometimes until just days before they are shared. So the court's decision is not final. If the court goes through with the overturning the landmark case, however, abortion would no longer be protected as a federal right in the U.S., and each state would be able to decide individually whether to restrict or ban abortion. Now, it probably doesn't take a lot of thinking if you are American to think of the states that probably would be against abortion, and I'm probably in one of those states that would probably sort of vote illegal to make it illegal. But right now we have sort of an assault on it from Texas, I think Oklahoma, and I think Florida are all sort of reducing the gestation period in the way. I'm definitely in one of those states. Hey. Again, I'm all about people making their own decisions, and I'm about communities voting for what they believe in. And so if this did ever come to vote in this state, I would definitely be on the opposite end of, I would be for, continuing women's right to choose what they do with their body. That's just my opinion, of course. You might have a different opinion. I try to look at things objectively, and I think this is a huge mistake personally. But again, if this does sort of get passed, and this was a leaked document, so they're thinking that the clerk from one of the clerks from one of the Democratic judges leaked this document, which they are starting to pull up an FBI investigation into this. And so, this is a big change of events. This is a huge story. And it's very sad that this is just yet another division in our country, in the United States, which is it's just terrible. I hate how divided this country has become. And when you want to think of this country as a unit, as a community, as a whole community of people who are supposed to, come together in love of one's country and love for their countrymen. And it's not that. And that's very sad to me, because I'd rather live in a place of love than division and hate. So the Supreme Court has voted to strike down Roe v. Wade according to initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito. He wrote that Roe and Casey must be overruled, Alito writes. So this is the Politico thing, the Politico Twitter feed, and this is the actual article that you can find out there right now. And we won't go too much into that. We're going to look at more what the reactions of musicians are. Is there women in the Supreme Court? Yes, there is. There are three women, and one was just voted in, or was just. Yeah, there is. There is women. We just got a black woman in. We have a Mexican woman in, or a Latina in, and there is another woman who is leaning towards the right. So we can take a look at that. So the Supreme. So here we go. We got Clarence Thomas, John Roberts, Stephen Breyer, Samuel Alito, Sonia Sotomayor, who is a appointee by the Obama administration, Ellen Kagan, who is an appointee by the Trump administration, Neil Gorsuch, I don't know who that is, and we just had a new one. Who was the new lady? Oh, I thought we had a new lady justice. Wasn't Amy Coney Barrett was the Amy Coney Barrett was the justice appointed by the Trump administration. My bad. Um, and so we have 3 women and 4 dudes. So there's 7 of them. I'm fairly certain they are all older. Didn't we just have who was the Kantaji Jackson? Yeah, she's not on it. So she is to serve on the Supreme Court. So she was just voted in or appointed, I should say, by the Biden administration. So we will have another a woman of color, which I mean, I think that's great. It's monumental. Representation matters. Um, Whether you agree with the decision to appoint a black woman or not, or I mean, I don't know why you would disagree, but I'm saying like there was a clear. Joe Biden made it clear that he was going to appoint a black woman as, which great, master of puppets. So, not to get too far down the rabbit hole in the politics of it, which I know this is a very heavily politically driven subject. So, I know I know a lot of people have opinions on this. You guys know where I stand. I fucking think I find it despicable that they're trying to put parameters on women's rights, especially a bunch of dudes, right? I think Raina made a good point. It's like, why would you want what did you write, Raina? You wrote, do you really want your side chicks having your babies out there? Washington Supreme Court. I mean, the amount of hypocrites that exist in Washington is just awful. Morby, what's up? Just in time for for all the great stuff going on in America right now. Separation of church and state only matters if the leaders aren't Christians. That's true. They also so in Boston, there was a Supreme Court case that came up, and they just ruled on it. In Boston, they fly different flags that represent different communities. So they flew like the rainbow flag. They've flown for the gay community. They've flown just different flags that represent different communities. I can't think of all of them. I'm sorry, I'm on the spot here, and I'm just remembering this from what I heard this morning, actually. And there was a case that was taken to the Supreme Court that Christians wanted to fly a Christian flag in front of the state or the courthouse in Boston, and they voted they would not allow the Christian flag to be flown. And so they took that to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, you can't just tell them they can't fly their flag if you're flying all these other people's flags. So there is this idea in America that Christians can be a part of the conversation too, but there's also this conversation in America where there's a lot of people turning on Christianity. I'm not a Christian. I don't subscribe to that. I'm pretty like ugh. I grew up Catholic. I see a point for it. Yes, Christians have a flag. Let's see the flag, shall we? So here's the story about the flag. So here it is, the Christian flag. So they have had other flags that that had crosses on it too. And this is the Christian flag, I guess. Again, I'm not a Christian, but I respect people who believe in God and believe in Jesus. Like, I don't have any problems with it. I don't find it horrible at all. It's fine. I believe people should be able to do what they want to do. Why the Supreme Court rejected Boston's case against raising the Christian flag. And so if you guys want to read into this is another Supreme Court. Just because we brought up some Christian, yeah, fucking cancel me. That's so deserved. No wonder I've been missing your streams. Aw, you were unfollowed. How dare Twitch messed up my phone do this. Yeah, it's all good. You're good, Morby. No, we were just giving you praise, Morby, because of the 12-foot die.io. We've been stealing intellectual property for the last couple streams. It's amazing. Thank you so much for that. That wasn't the flag I was raised under. You know what? And I'm with that, Jin. I mean, honestly, I'm more gonna lean towards the American flag that I would prefer being flown in front of the state house, because why are we mixing up all these different flags? Like, why don't we just keep it simple, keep it American? That's just my opinion, folks. That's just my opinion. Not I'm not shitting on anybody else's flags, but if it's gonna be a state house and we're truly gonna separate, church and state and keep it neutral, then we fly under one flag, and you fly the flag you want to be. You know what I mean? That you want to fly in your space, and you know what? Again, if the community wants to fly the flag, a certain flag in front of their courthouse, and they all vote on it and they all have a say on it, then that's fine with me too. I just I think that the best thing to do if we want to keep it neutral is just fly the American flag. Now, the American flag is seen to be offensive to some people and represents something that doesn't represent them. And so, again, we're a divided nation, and that stinks. Reactions to the potential rollback of abortion rights at the federal level have been shared on social media by figures in the entertainment and music industry since the news broke last night. The regrets took to Twitter to share a link to abortion funds in every state, while writing the fact that we are here again having to defend our bodies against a majority male vote. There you go. Is frustrating and heartbreaking. And so here is their post, and here is their Google Docs about donating to abortion. It is interesting when you look back at Planned Parenthood and the initial, it is something that affects the African American communities the most, and it was something that was directed towards the African American communities when it was first incepted, or in its first inception. So you got to think that it was kind of the idea of the Planned Parenthood abortions, making abortions more accessible to these communities, was aimed at. And in some cases, was sort of based on on a racist idea. And so it is interesting, and that's where this sort of all kind of came from, but it has turned into this movement of women having the freedom to be able to dictate what their body is, what's happening with their body. And I think that's the bigger story here, is because it's, if a woman's not ready, and again, I don't want to speak on behalf of women because I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't, but but from what I understand, women want that option, just like men want the option to do the things they want to do with their body. I just feel like that you can find yourself in these situations as a woman where you're not ready for a baby, or maybe, God forbid, incest, or whatever the situation might be. There are certain circumstances where that women should have that right. So that's just my opinion again, folks. I know that this is kind of a so. Yeah, I'm glad that we could steal the IP as well. It's been great stealing intellectual properties, folks. What am I, China? No, I'm just kidding. Look, it's well known that China steals intellectual property like crazy, okay? So let's go and read in these comments, because we like the comment section, and we'll move on with this article as well. Totally right. Thank you for writing this important message. How can men decide over your body? Yeah. Again, that's where I stand. This is a touchy situation, touchy subject. It's a touchy subject. So As a dude, I'm like, yo, let the ladies make the decision here. Uh, Dudes with dicks, how about the dicks take a step back, right? Can the dicks go limp for this one? Can we get a soft serve for this one, fellas? I think you need to look at the 55 to 60% of white women who are voting Trump and Republican, including Amy Barrett, instead of placing all the blame at the feet of men. Women are their worst enemies. And yeah, there's a lot of women who lean right, and it's not just white women. It's not just white women who feel like this. It's Mexican women. I mean, deeply religious people of color, they are not for it either. So let's not just blame it on white women too. It's not just Karen, okay, that's out there making these decisions. Down with BD. What about someone who identifies as a woman? They have an opinion too, and they have the right to an opinion. This is America, goddammit. And if it's a person who identifies as a woman, who whatever direction they lean, they have a right to their opinion. My opinion is that maybe the dicks take a softie. Take a knee, fellas, take a knee, and you know if you want to identify as a woman and you have an opinion on that, that's on you. But I do want to point out that it's not just white women that feel this way. There's lots of Latinas. There's lots of black women who are very go flaccid dicks. So yeah, exactly. Go flaccid or go home. This get Leslie St. James here. Saying women are their worst enemies. I respect a woman's right to decide what their opinion is. Women have, I would say women have the biggest right to decide whether or not this is what they want, whether they're very conservative leaning or if they're very liberal leaning. This is on the women. This is on the ladies. Even people who identify as ladies. We'll let that in. What is this? Who is this? What is happening here? Siri Cruz? I don't care about Siri Cruz. Okay, so Bridges wrote a candid post to fans via her Instagram stories and Twitter, sharing her own experience before asking them to donate. I had an abortion in October of last year while I was on tour, she wrote. I went to Planned Parenthood where they gave me the abortion pill. The singer added, "It was easy. Everyone deserves that kind of access," before sharing the link to the abortion funds donate. And here is her post, and maybe we should go and read it. For real though, you've got the right attitude, I think. Maybe. I mean, a lot of people will probably disagree with me, A lot of people will probably think that I shouldn't even be talking about this, but I'm going to talk about it, especially because the musicians are talking about it. We got to cover it. My girlfriend had an abortion when I was 19 and she was 18. She was on the pill, which failed. We were not fit to be parents. I mean, that seems like a responsible decision, honestly. I don't know. Yes, I am sure the decision wasn't easy. Nobody wants to be in that situation, but if it happens, it is our body, our choice. Why is this so hard to understand? What about the body that you are killing? All right, here we go. He doesn't have a choice for an unprotected intercourse. That's completely your responsibility, or better said, irresponsibility. You're pursuing unprotected intercourse. You don't know the circumstances. You don't have a right to your opinion. Well, I disagree with that. He has a right to their opinion, but but expect consequences is what I'm saying. I heard there was like only 30% of the US that wants this, but if I had to guess, that's the ones with all the power and money. Yeah, maybe. But it seems like the Republicans are reacting in a very neutral way, and they're focusing more on the leaked aspect of it and not of the content of the bill or of the decision. So like if you heard Mitch McConnell say, they're really upset that the documents got leaked, that this is unprecedented. This has never happened in U.S. history where a Supreme Court's decisions that's been, a private decision that they've been talking about and ruling on has gotten leaked out before. So this is kind of a political play, I would say, as well, from the left and from whoever was leaking the documents. And it does seem like the Democrats are sort of jumping on this as a way to win over their inevitable losing red wave that's coming. I mean, because the people are sick of a lot of Democrat things. Lots of polls are showing that the Democrats are not in favor, and this midterm election is a big election coming up. And I suggest everyone to vote. If you're in America, vote. Even if you're in a country where votes matter, go vote. Get registered. Your voice matters. And so, I think that the Republicans are walking a tight line, a tightrope on this as well, because they know that this is not a favorable decision, even amongst conservatives and Republican peoples. I am now snipped and my wife has an IUD, but I think it should be up to the women. It sucks they leave this up to the states because some states won't make the right decision. Right. And we were talking about that. Ohio probably won't. Fucking Texas probably won't. All these very red states probably won't allow it to keep going. It's not right to think that abortions only happen because of stupidity. Can also be just unlucky as fuck. Unlucky. I mean, some people are irresponsible too. Some people are victims of sex crimes, so there's a lot of reasons. And listen, it doesn't matter what the reason is, honestly. It's women. It's a woman's body. It's a woman's right. Especially, never mind. I'm not going to bring that up. Yeah. Or also, what happens if the baby will be born sick and not have a good life? That too, right? What if the baby is, I think someone posted on their Twitter today is saying that if they wouldn't have had an abortion, that the baby would have, because the baby died, there was a miscarriage and the baby died in the womb. And if it wasn't for abortion, that baby would have, it would have caused problems and infections and such that could have killed the mother. So because of abortion, they were able to, safely remove the baby or remove the fetus and live. So there's all kinds of reasons. But again, I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody for their reasons. I know women who've had abortions just because they're on their third or fourth abortion and they just didn't want the babies, they didn't want that. I'm not going to sit here and judge. Do what you got to do to get by, in my opinion, but it's not my decision. It's just not. Like Samuel L. Jackson and Captain America, I have heard their opinion, but owing to the fact that it's stupid fucking opinion, I have decided to ignore it. Never understood why an unborn child has more rights than a woman who has to do this for 9 months. Yeah. Wow, we got Miami and we still gonna be hating on abortions. I don't get this is even a decision. It's proven that banned abortions don't lead to less abortions. Yeah, exactly. And that's the other half of this is like, it's not going to stop abortions. This is not going to stop any of it. This is not going to stop it at all. It's just going to lead to unsafe practices. It's like prostitution. It's not, you ban prostitution. It's not like there's not going to be prostitutes. It's just going to be unsafe prostitution. It's going to be unsafe situations. Outlawing it doesn't stop it. The drug war was the biggest fucking failure in fucking U.S. history. One of the biggest failures in U.S. history. Look how much fucking strife that the drug war has brought upon our citizens here in the United States. And it was born out of racist ideologies and shit. It's just stupid. And I am alluding to the fact that I think drugs should just be legal. Fuck it. They should be safe access to drugs. We should just have safe access to if you need to be heroinized, you should have access to safe, clean needles administered by a doctor or a professional so you don't spread disease, overdose. Honestly, it's fucking, to me, it's banning these things only make the situation worse. And it opens up a black market where things are done unsafely. People will die. Infections will spread. Ever heard of Queen Anne's lace? No. Yep, totally. The reason doesn't matter. We let people drink, smoke, jump out of planes, etc. Yeah, I agree. It don't matter what the situation is. It's what matters is that you're putting mandates on someone's body that you don't have any right for. And me and Robbie actually talked about this on the podcast. What he was on, like we both have this sort of idea is like no government should have access to your body. And that means for any kind of vaccines, any kind of fucking, you can't mandate people they can't have abortions. You can't mandate people to do shit. Not in this country, God damn it. Not here, not now. Queen Anne's lace will make you start a period. Oh, I have heard of that, actually. I have heard of that. Porn is technically illegal in the U.S. Is it? It's weed. Gotta go to dinner. Maybe see you later. It was nice seeing you again. Look, Morby, I'm sorry that you had to that this was the last thing that you had to think about before going to eat because, this is a very upsetting topic. But enjoy your dinner. Love ya. Talk to you later. We're gonna get through this article and then we'll move on. But I knew this was gonna be a tough topic, and I knew that there was gonna be opinions that So but I felt like this was a very I don't know. This is just a very huge thing in my head right now. So. Questlove posted twice on Instagram in reaction to the vote, first likening the Supreme Court vote to the country's Handmaid's Tale era before sharing a graphic asking the followers to channel their rage into action, which, yes, protest, go out there, protest, and do it safely and do it non-violently. In the caption, he said, "Men, we all have people need to rally behind it. Men, we of all people need to rally behind this," before listing multiple rallies that would take place in New York City, D.C., and across the country today, May 3rd. This was, yesterday. So, I agree. This is time for mobilization. If you don't like it, you go up against it. Yeah. And this subliminal, let's see, men, we of all people need to rally behind this. This is what Questlove is saying on his Instagram post. This isn't oh man, that's a woman thing. Someone in our life, be it your mother, your daughter, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your next door neighbor, your girlfriend, your other girlfriend, your side John, your coworker, a BFF of one the aforementioned, and especially you. If this affects them, it affects us. Trust me, I just want to wake up, look at the social media, eat grilled cheese, watch Soul Train, and figure out how to stump Wordle. But we are in a state of emergency right now. And this subliminal retaliation should not come as a surprise to anyone. Best believe this is payback for voting a black woman in the Supreme Court. No one is saying this, so I'll say it. Could be, but I don't think so. There's a black dude. Clarence Thomas is a black dude who's leaning towards, abolishing this. Yes, it's a burden, and it's easy to give up, especially my age, in which if you're optimistic, you're like, I got less than 40 years left. I'm out of here. Thing is, I got people I love born 10 years ago that have to be here until 2080. It's a novel idea thinking of someone else. If you don't participate, cool. At least RP add to your stories. Info here. And here is the information where people can which those I'm sure shit's still going. I'm sure the protests are still going. What's up, Samo? Welcome back. Not sure many in this chat seem anti-abortion. No, yeah, I don't think so either. It seems like everybody's sort of on the same page. And if you are anti-abortion, I mean, please speak up. I mean, I would like to think that we can all responsibly have an open conversation. I would love to hear your opinions if you are against abortions in any way. I mean, it's fine. People have a right to their opinion. Again, people have a right to their opinion. I'm not going to judge. I might disagree, but I'm not going to judge. LOL, I found this. Federal law prohibits the possession with intent to sell or distribute obscenity, to send, ship, or receive obscenity, to import obscenity, and to transport obscenity across state borders for purpose of distribution. Second or third wife. I just got through talking about this, and they're making it, and their marketing is all wrong. We need living, breathing men testimony on how deadbeat dads are born, and there are more than just lives hostage. There are one-night stand hostages, the dark side that nobody wants to talk about issues. Yeah. I have never heard of this. Google pornography laws. Gotta head to work. Have a good day, everyone. Pizza Man, thank you so much for stopping in. It was great chatting with you, buddy. And have a great day at work. Make those pizzas. It seems to be about mailing it and not about viewing it in a private home. Have a good. You can have the right to your opinion, but not when it harms or limits rights of others. Well, I don't know. Opinions. I think when people just say their opinion, it's not harming anybody. They're just stating their opinion. It's when they're voting with their opinion. And that's why you got to be out there and vote. That's why you got to get out there and call your senators. You got to fucking call your representatives. If this shit pisses you off, then you need to make a stand on it. You need to talk about it. You need to fucking do more than just fucking get on Twitter and be mad. You can't ban abortions. You can only ban safe abortions, right? And that's what Morby brought up earlier. Is like, you're not banning abortions. You're just making them unsafe for women, which is a very sad situation. View more reaction from entertainment and music industry and leaked Supreme Court vote to overturn. So Judge Apatow, they just want slavery and to deny most people the right to vote. Kennedy, Republicans may have finally gotten their wish after 49 years. GOP Supreme Court poised to strike down Roe v Wade. My mom said when I was young, I heard keep them barefoot and pregnant. A woman's place is in the home. Women don't have the brains for business. Death due to back alley abortions. That's rough. Sarah Bareilles says, once more, for the people in the back, women don't get pregnant by themselves. Why is there zero sense of shared responsibility? It's pathetic, and I stand with the masses of you who are enraged and want to fight back. Hand me my armor. Bands off our body. Jason Isbell, I support women's right to choose, and Amanda Shires, and I give to the Yellowhammer Fund in Alabama. Please give if you can. Here we go. Kenny Beats. Men shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies. Fuck off. Strange says fuck off. Margot Price. They wage war on women. We will fight back. D. Snyder. Maybe now the true majority will rise the fuck up and push back. This is what happens when you let a bullying minority run the show. Seth MacFarlane. Family guy. As the staggeringly partisan right-wing dominated SCOTUS nudges America closer to Handmaid's Tale status, the importance of voting in every election becomes even more obvious. One would hope today's news erases any further decision that both parties are pretty much the same. Even these two idiots know. Kevin Smith, a woman's body is her own fucking business. Let's read what's up. Opinion spurn discord. Yeah. Spurn. Yeah. May not be right. I think you're right. I might have a heartache of a stream and the suppression of choice and the land of the free, shoulder shrug, head scratch, invite. So strange to me that the same people want government out of their lives, but then are against gay marriage or this. To me, does the government intervene or not? Not have it be issue by issue. If you're not hurting anyone else or yourself, then the government shouldn't be involved, period. Yeah, for sure. That is interesting, right? This is like, we need smaller government, but not here. Right now, we need big government telling people what they can and can't do. Abortions like prohibition. Somebody's going to take it up upon themselves to go open up a speakeasy. But for babies, we're really going to go that far. Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? Again, we're circling back. It's if we're not banning abortions, we're banning safe abortions, because banning shit doesn't make it go away. Just like drugs being illegal doesn't mean we don't have drug acts, doesn't mean that there's not drugs running the streets right now. Yeah. It's not good. It's not a good look, brah. Make no mistake, a majority in this country are angry tonight. Not a small majority, a giant majority. I am seeing that rage. I am hearing that rage. I am feeling that rage. And to all scared women tonight, I will fight for you and with you. I will fight like hell. We must all fight. Josh Gad. And Young Blood speaks out. The right to your body is yours and yours alone. Every single one of you use your voice, donate, spread, reliable. Jesus, I can't speak. Reliable. I see. Reliable information. Speak out. Okay, that was just a thing. Today's response follow multiple prominent figures speaking out against U.S. legislation. Back in March, Lizzo spoke out against Texas anti-trans legislation and abortion policies during her South by Southwest keynote speech. The Houston-raised singer, whose keynote address was centered around her forthcoming Watch Out for the Big Girls reality series, slammed the legislation, then talking to host Angela Yee on Sunday, March 13th. I'm proud to represent Houston, but I am not proud to rep Texan politics right now. There are very regressive laws being passed, she told the audience. She added, they're taking away the right for young children to have a chance to live authentically as themselves. It's a violation of human rights. Trans rights are human rights. The singer also discussed Texas' heavily restrictive laws around abortion. We got a lot of ugly babies y'all need to be handling instead of y'all being in people's homes and telling them what to do with their bodies and being all up in their uteruses. Lizzo. The abortion ban is atrocious as well. Mind your business. Stay out of my body. I mean, I agree with Lizzo and her words. Yeah, and again, Texas is one of those ones, man. One of those states where I love Texas. I love the people in Texas, but man, are they going wild right now.